You already tuned me out, so sorry, Patrick.
No
Don't
worries.
you worry about it.
Okay, here we go.
Patrick, with Midwest Tops.
Yep.
Tell us about your background, introduction. Midwest Tops is another one of our premier sponsors for the Grand Expo, so really appreciate your time being here and sharing your story. But let's hear about your background and your bio.
In fact, my whole body's scared drinking this Foxtown Brewing because it's just like it all comes back.
It feels
Go, Patrick.
It's going to be guy.
That's the last time I bring it up.
Hair of the dog.
Yes.
I'm grateful. Thank you very much for having me. This is a wonderful opportunity, and we had a great expo. Really, as you said, starting with Thursday night, it was started off very well. The weather didn't help us a lot because it was so bitterly cold, but I think it may have helped us with attendance.
Yes, tremendously. If you're supporting local builders, they come when the weather's bad,
Yes.
and they do not come when the weather's good, which that's what they should do.
Yeah. So it was perfect for that. My story, I've been with Midwest Tops, so this is a second time around with Midwest Tops. I started basically right out of college. I moved up to the Milwaukee area from a little town in Indiana, and the big city. I had no idea what I was getting into, and didn't have a job. Was waiting tables at a Red Lobster at the time, and I look back fondly on that. That was a great experience.
I might have brought my high school girlfriend down there and, spending the load.
There you go.
Going to Northridge Mall and just walking around.
Go get some cheesy biscuits, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Thinking that I had made it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, this girl is so wowed by me right now. She has no idea.
Indeed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, met a few
and that's
people
still
too.
happening at all the Red Lobsters, I hope, around the country. That's what that's meant for. Yeah.
I would think it is. No, shrimp scampi. It's what do they call that? It's one of those. It's one of those things that turns people on. I forget what the term of that is.
Aphrodisiac.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it.
Yep.
Aphrodisiac. So, met some people at the restaurant and made some connections that got me into this business. I'll back up a little bit. When I was much younger, my dad lost his job, and he began a remodeling business. So, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 years old, I'm riding side saddle with my dad. And whatever he needed me to do, if we were, rehabbing a house, he'd tell me to go out in front and clean up the bushes or whatever.
So you're fairly handy. You're fairly handy mechanically.
I try to be.
Aligned,
try to be. So got a chance to meet some of the folks at Midwest Tops, and it was a connection right away. There were not just the people, but it was an industry that I felt comfortable with. And the longer you're in this industry, pretty much anyone you talk to about this industry, you never leave. You're going to be in this industry. You're in for life.
Yeah, I was maybe 24, 25, still pray that I'm not in this industry. And I was at some national conference, and it was just, I don't remember his name, random, I'll call older guy, probably my age, right? Big, chubby guy. And he's like, let me see your fingernails. So you got sawdust underneath there. Once you get the sawdust underneath, it doesn't ever come out. Yeah. And I was like, screw you, I'll do whatever I want in my life. But here I am. So maybe there was a lot of truth to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
So I was not a prime candidate for the position that they had. I had a college degree. The president at the time did not want to hire me. I dropped off my resume.
Was that Al?
No, a gentleman by the name of Mike Galati.
Mike. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Really good guy. There's a Pella connection there
Sounds
too.
mafia-ish too.
Yeah.
I like it. The Gulatis.
Yeah, he probably does have some connections.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. You'll never know. But he's one of the nicest people in the world.
Okay.
So he was dodging me. He was not answering my calls. So you know what I did? I just showed up one day, and he's walking out the door, arms full of stuff. He's busy, and he sees me. I'm like, "Hey, Mike, you got a moment?" He said, "You know what I do? Let me put this down." We sat and we chatted. He brought another person in. We had kind of an impromptu interview, and they hired me.
Wow.
I started as a delivery driver and a floor sweeper, and working in the laminate shop. At the time, there was laminate and solid surface, quarry and solid surface.
Okay, and that was what year approximately?
That would have been the early mid-'90s.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Yep. And we would have been a customer already at that point.
I know that. I looked that up actually.
Yeah.
When our system only goes back a certain period of time, but Campbellsport Building Supply is in there as of 1098, so maybe around there, or maybe even earlier than that.
So around 98.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. I started in 96 full time, so since really been we've been a customer of yours since really I've been full time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
For a lot of people, that seems a long time ago. I'm like, yeah, that's reasonably
Yeah.
not that long ago.
Yeah.
Jules is like, how are you old? How would you want to say how old you are in 98?
I mean, my brother graduated high school in '96. I graduated in 2006.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll just move on. Okay, just moving on. Come on.
You know, that's a normal
Don't ask
thing these
women.
days. I just feel old all the time. People telling me how young they are. I'm like, okay. Just
Anyway.
Wisdom.
reinforces my age. So part of the lead up to it was he asked me what I wanted to do. I said, I want to be in sales for you. I want to sell. And he said, well, why do you want to work in the shop? I said, I need to learn about the product. I need to understand how this business operates, what the marketplace is like, so I can sell it. And he allowed that. And over the course of time, I made it into sales and worked my way into all kinds of different things. It's a small company, so we wear a lot of different hats. So today I'm doing lots of different things.
And how many people do you employ?
Right around 50.
Okay.
50. Okay, wow.
Yeah, I feel like that's unique. You know, one of the questions I remember this actually was for an intern. I think Kate used this for an intern. Like, how did you get your first job? She's like, I want to know, like, the grittiness, the persistence to actually walk into somebody's door and say like, this is what I want. And
So what do you guys do, right? Midwest Tops is a
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great
for
question.
somebody just listening. It's like that. I'm sure you get that like at a Packer game, right? You're like, what is Midwest Tops?
We don't. Yeah. What do you do?
right.
We make countertops. So we fabricate and install countertops. The quickest way to say it.
And which brands do you represent?
Lots of different brands, but the majority of what we do today is quartz and natural stone. I would say that's 85%.
And what is the mix rate currently for your business, at least?
In terms of what
Natural stone
different-
and quartz.
Oh gosh, natural stone maybe 10 to 15%.
That's what I would have guessed. Just keeps
Yeah.
trending down and
It
down
does.
and down.
You know, 10
years ago, yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. 80-20 rule probably was 80.
It was probably closer
50-50?
to probably closer to 50-50.
And you don't offer laminate at all?
We still
you
do.
And laminate is just 2%, 5%, 20%?
The way I think about
Forgotten
it, it's not fair to talk about laminate the way that I think about it in dollars, because the dollars are going to be a
Yeah, not the
smaller,
orders,
smaller
right,
amount.
right.
So the number of projects, it's quite a few actually. We
20%?
still do. Yeah, I would say. I would say.
Yeah, there's still a need for and
It's a
honestly,
great
laminate
product.
gets a bash. Yeah, it gets bashed,
Yeah.
and man, they've come a long ways.
Yeah.
There's reasons for it, and it's a huge cost savings for the right projects.
With-
I'm surprised with all the. I'm so surprised with all the people talking about I need to reduce the price of my house. They will not waver from quartz. It's amazing to me. Amazing. Being in the industry.
You'll see projects where they'll put quartz in the kitchen and laminate everywhere else.
But even in the kitchen, you could save $7,000-8,000, right?
Yeah.
Right, a ballpark, and they're chasing $20 on a lock set, or $6 on a 2x4.
Right.
And I'm like, laminate does pretty nice job.
Yeah.
It does.
And like, no, you think of a duplex, that's $15,000. When you double the quartz, and I'm like, wow, I don't see it, man. I don't think anybody's buying that condo with a quartz.
Yeah.
But again, for anybody listening, I love quartz. I have Cambria in my house. You guys don't sell Cambria, right?
We do.
Did
We
you
do.
install it? Do you think?
We probably did.
Probably did.
Yeah.
I don't even. This is how little I know about your industry. I'm sorry, Patrick. So we do Cambria. I have Cambria in my house. That's what I would recommend. That's what I think that's just a phenomenal product.
It is.
But there are projects that it should be laminate. That's probably going quartz.
You know what? And laminate's a great way to, if you think about it, if somebody wants to save some money on a job, especially if it's a new home buyer, first home, start with laminate. You can always upgrade.
True.
You can always change your countertops down the road. You're never locked in.
And people are going to say, I can always put new doors on. In 30 years, I've seen a few people ever put new doors on. You're never going to put new windows in.
Right.
You're never going to put new shingles on. Flooring maybe, but that's a really big mess. Countertop, it's a one-day flip.
We call it jewelry.
Yeah.
It's the jewelry.
Yeah. It is. Cosmetic, yeah.
It truly is.
Yeah.
It is. It's the pop. It's the wow. It's what people see.
Yeah.
And you were talking about laminate. There are plenty of with digital.
And you do touch it again. You think of the visuals of it, right?
Yeah.
I've talked about. I think on this podcast, I've talked about tiled showers before. It's every single day you look at it, right?
Yeah.
Every single day you look at it, you feel it, you touch it, you're in it,
Right.
with no other distractions. Countertops for your kitchen are not that far away from that.
Right.
you lose it and you feel it and you touch it and you raise your whole family there and you have every event and it's in your kitchen. So I'm maybe talking more about the kitchen, but it's talking about what you physically touch and physically see as well. It's an emotional purchase.
You talk about family and you talk about the gathering place, the kitchen.
Yeah.
It is.
And not only the kitchen, the main countertop.
Yes.
When you think of your there's a thing to settle your nerves or fall asleep at night or when you're having anxiety. I read that. And I love it, and I do that quite often. Go to your biggest, safest, most comfortable place. And then I kind of recommended a few. And for me, it absolutely was like, that's it. My two grandmas, Grandma Gucci, I'm going to cry, Grandma Fleischman, their two kitchens. And like if you have really cranked up in anxiety, be that little boy. Smell what they smell. My Grandma Fleischman had a canary. My Grandma Gucci had a little budgie, or what do they call it? Budgie, little parakeet.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Okay.
She had a parakeet, my Grandma Fleischman had a canary. I could hear it.
Wow.
This is old school. They had the windows open. I could feel the curtains. Like I never felt safer.
I love
more
that.
comfortable and more happy. It's as close to heaven as I can get, right? So
That's wonderful.
But when I have that memory, it's in the kitchen. It's not in their living room. It's not in their, it's not in their outside. It's not on their deck. It's in their kitchen, right?
It is.
Yeah.
What's better than Grandma's kitchen for most people?
For sure. No,
I'll never forget sitting at Grandma's table. Yeah. She's making me a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup.
Does life not get better?
I'm just sitting there and Grandma's cooking for me.
In fact, next time you have high anxiety, go back to Grandma's kitchen.
I'm going to do that. Well, I can't go back to Grandma's kitchen, but
you can
go back to somebody's kitchen.
Yeah,
in my mind. In my mind. Yes, there you go.
There's not much. Your mind cannot. Your mind has a hard time differentiating from reality to dreams.
Sure.
So if you can just really convince yourself mentally that you're there, and I call that the soul. I call that the spirit. I think you're pretty close.
Yeah.
You say that. You just brought to mind something. My mother-in-law's dealing with dementia, and
what an awful thing, by the way.
It's part of the adventure of life, I believe. Yeah. And you look at.
Everyone's going to die, and we've talked about that on a lot of podcasts. Everyone's going to die, and no one wants to address that fact.
Yeah.
And there's name the good ways to die, right?
Yeah.
So it is what it is, right? But keep going.
Well, in particular, the stories. You talk about the imagination. You talk about where people's minds go. She tells these amazing stories right now. Yeah. And some of them are kind of spooky. Some of them don't add up, and it just seems like make-believe. It seems like pure fiction.
But to her, it happened.
It's real.
Yeah.
It is real to her.
Real. Yeah.
And 100%, she's living it.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a bit about old age and about how
about life, about death, all that, right?
Everything.
It's truly amazing.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry. No. We're getting far afoot from your question, Jules.
This is actually
we don't need to go on any type of road. We'll take it, we said, wherever it takes us, right?
Sure enough.
So tell us a little bit about, Expo, your experience there and kind of your product, like what's trendy, what are you looking forward to hearing?
I truly would like to get like a little elevator speech, like what are the trends in countertops?
Right.
What are you guys showing off? Where do you see it going? Tips and tricks, if you will.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, we touched on laminate. Laminate's not going away. Laminate there's always going to be a place for laminate. Solid surface, the Corian solid surface that people recognize, kind of that Kleenex of the industry. That's a great material as well. Stone. When we talk about stone, it's kind of the generic term for things like quartz, natural stone, quartzite. A few years back, the push in the industry was to go to this porcelain or a sintered product.
Maybe 5 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, there was this huge hey, this is going to be the wave of the future.
Right.
Quartz is going to die. Porcelain's going to take off. Yeah, where's that at?
It
went as quick as it started. It seemed to go away that quick.
It's still there. It's still there, and there certainly are some fabricators who will dedicate lines to producing
or lead with it almost, right? They're like, we want to be the porcelain dealer
Correct.
in Milwaukee, for instance.
Really, you need to be somebody who specializes in. A lot of what I'm going to share about this is going to be my opinion. Yeah. But I do believe that there's a place for the porcelain.
Does it come in more because does it come in more expensive, less expensive, just different?
It's
Your
the actual
again.
material is not more expensive. It's the labor. It's the time to fabricate.
That's what that's the hang up. And no one
Correct.
has more time right now, right?
Correct.
So like what's the
So
advantage?
it doesn't make sense.
Right. If it was a faster install, now we're talking a whole different thing.
No, in the material itself
and somehow
is
it's
amazing.
harder to cutting, right? The cutting's different.
It's basically a large format tile.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you slow down your process. Quartz is softer than tile.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it takes a bit longer to cut it.
Yeah.
Now there are different tools that you can employ. They've improved the technology in blades.
But also we're
all
not
of
having
those.
problems with quartz.
Correct.
I mean, it's not like we're trying to fix a problem.
There is no problem.
Right.
People
Right.
love quartz.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain quartz. Quartz is already sold
And
before
it does,
people
and
show
it
up.
does feel soft, it does feel soft. It's not so cold as granite. So I'm a little hung up on why you would want porcelain.
Yeah, exactly. I really think that the best application for something like porcelain would be in countertops, an exterior kitchen.
Oh, sure.
So it can handle
Like a tile.
UV.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can handle
Right.
the hot, the cold. You can actually put hot things on
Right.
it. It's
I
one
was
of those.
going to ask about that because isn't granite, is it granite that when you put?
Well, even quartz is you're not supposed to because
Okay.
it's a natural
Correct.
material.
Yeah, we caution people about putting anything hot on any of the surfaces that we sell.
Yeah, I did do a test pilot, and I will say this on the podcast, in my opinion, and please don't try this in your own house. Shout out to Beth Pouch, who used to work here. She
You lit
cringed
fire
every
on
time
mine.
I said it. Every time I said it, she would cringe every single time. She's like, don't ever tell anyone that. And I got Cambria in 2008, and as a test pilot, I never used a hot pad. Right? No, like, see, he's cringing. I knew that you can get people to cringe off that.
Eyebrows.
And I just wanted to see, I knew I was taking a liability, but I'm like, my house in general is kind of a research and development project.
Sure.
I'll kind of
Okay.
try things out that are unique and just different as much as Pam will let me.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens. Like I have in my it's like a sunroom. I have skylights that open and close.
Okay.
I was freaked out about them. Like you cannot have skylights open and close on a roof. That seems so fundamentally wrong to me being a window dealer. We've never had one problem, and I actually love them.
Okay.
So just
There you go.
interesting stuff.
Just
But the
try
same
it
with
out.
Cambria. I never used a hot pad. Please do, because you could have a problem and it will void the warranty.
Yep.
I have never used one and have never got a dent, a scratch, a nick, a fade, a whitening, nothing. Been beautiful. It's a beautiful product.
All right.
Your heat must be different than other people's heat. I'm not sure your hot pans aren't so hot.
Maybe they're not as hot.
Maybe.
Maybe I don't cook it that much. Right?
Who knows?
Yeah.
But the porcelain, I think, also for exterior facades, there's probably a place for that. In a commercial building, you see
sure.
all of these auto dealers with all these beautiful facades with windows and the materials
Different
on the outside
applications.
that look very
Yeah.
contemporary.
So
right?
so back to the trends. What's trending?
Trending, I would say, and
Or even
what
colors.
we're excited about is printed quartz. So it is still the same material as the quartz that we're all familiar with, but now they're using a digital printing on the surface of the material to give it even more realistic, natural
for sure.
look.
Which is very similar to the same technology. If you're not familiar with that, would be your LVT laminated veneer tile and your
Yes.
laminated veneer planks
Yes.
are literally printed images.
Right.
So I was literally at you'll all find this interesting, I
Yeah.
think. I was at the Shaw factory in North Carolina, no, Georgia.
In Georgia, yeah.
Dalton, Georgia. I cannot think of the name. And I'm at the factory, and we were actually at their R&D lab, and they actually employ a full-time photographer that goes to Europe
Oh, wow.
and takes pictures for these images, because where are you pulling these images from?
Sure.
And maybe with AI you don't have to, or whatever. Maybe those jobs eliminated.
Right.
But he would literally go to these Irish pubs,
Oh, wow.
1400, 16th century cathedrals, and take pictures of the
Photograph of the
doors
wood?
of the wood.
Oh, my.
And he's like, and we were there, and he's like, I'm down to these three. Which ones do you think?
That's cool.
And he could reference where he took the image
Oh, wow.
for the next LVP planks coming out.
That's cool.
Or it was cool. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm like, they employ you just to go to like pubs and
I know, I was going to say, if you have it
cathedrals.
in Europe.
He's like, I know, I get that a lot.
You get
he's
that
like,
too,
he's
right?
like, yeah, they do. So
I was
yeah.
geeking out about the old wood, but you're right. The opportunity to travel to these great places and
And in
see this
fact,
history.
and it's a stretch, but I've always wanted. My wife probably wouldn't let me, because now you could actually do a wood-looking countertop,
Yeah.
like for
You
that
sure can.
sauna cottagey feel,
Wow.
that urban farm look, right? You could have that.
I'm gonna look that up.
You could have that
Yeah.
thick countertop look that looks like barn boards, right? Barn beams. Finally,
Absolutely.
Not every application.
Yeah,
but again,
yeah.
you think of imaging, it can now be whatever the image is. It's not quartz.
But back to the expo, we
Yeah.
had an actual printed
Okay.
quartz
Yeah.
at our expo booth. So
Yeah.
we had
Yeah.
one that is it mimics the look of a natural quartzite called Taj Mahal.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
it's,
So they haven't taken it to the extremes, like I said. You can't get it in a wood grain yet or anything like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's just
Someday,
around the corner.
yeah. But
Yeah.
is that all available in our showrooms right now? Or is it
Not
pretty?
quite
It's
yet.
just
It's so
trending
new,
out.
and I think
Okay.
you'll see it very soon.
Is that bringing the price down?
It's about the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just looks better. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm always big on price down.
Well, yeah.
For local
I
builders.
think when they give these new wow factor
Yeah.
opportunities, typically it's going to be a little more expensive.
Yeah,
at
they
least to
try.
start.
They test pilot the market,
Yeah,
right? They're saying,
yeah.
well,
Yeah.
let's see if we can
What
get.
works, yeah.
Well, I mean that's the challenge
blame-
when
not their fault.
pricing, competition will naturally force that price
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
But once you get down, there's no going back.
That's a good way to say it.
So
That's fair.
Right.
it is. It's a bit of a challenge. So you've always got to have something fresh
And
new.
to be clear, Midwest Tops does not make any slabs.
Correct.
You simply, I shouldn't say simply because it's complicated. You fabricate the slab and then you install that.
Absolutely.
So let's walk through.
Yeah.
The process.
Manufacturing, or- yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, just so people understand if that's
Yeah,
okay. If
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I think.
Well,
I think that's important, right? So
Couple details.
So what's our Drexel relationship even, right? If you walk in, we sell to the local builder. You can buy countertops retail direct from us. That's not usually our forte. We don't have the right hours, right? It's just not. So we sell to. So you have a builder and you need a countertop. They're going to send them to us, and when they get by us, we're going to have a cabinetry salesperson, a quarterback designer. Quote that out for you, and then the order gets sent to Midwest Tops. Lots of technology there, right? We're sending. Are we doing the drawing, or are you doing an initial drawing?
You typically will put together, in many
Like Joel
cases.
doesn't even know.
There are lots. There's no rule.
And I've
There's
almost
no
done
rule.
every job here.
Yeah.
I've been to Midwest Tops. I've picked materials up from Midwest Tops. I've never actually placed an order to Midwest Tops in my history.
You ever had a tour?
Not a formal tour. It's kind of like zoom in, zoom out.
Yeah.
No, never a formal tour. Anyways, going
It is
forward.
but it's a process. I mean, literally today we had a delivery. A truckload shows up in our court, parks in the middle of the court. We have a big heavy duty forklift that goes out and lifts an A-frame of material. Each slab of material weighs about 1,500 pounds, and there's 8 slabs.
And they
on
come
this
from typically
A-frame.
in the United States if it's naturally produced.
If it's naturally produced, we have one of our better vendors is out of Georgia.
And how many do you actually use? How many vendors would you have?
I would say the majority of what we use is 4 to 5 different vendors.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. Other cabinetry dealers, as you know, Patrick, if you walk in their showroom, they're going to have every brand of countertop that's made.
Right.
And that's probably,
It's confusing.
and it might be 8 to 10 to 12.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you can just keep digging out. If you don't find the right sample, I'll bring you out more. So we used to be that way. And every one of our cabinets in our showrooms were full with countertop samples.
Right.
But confusing because we weren't experts of the material. Yep. Sometimes Midwest Tops was an expert of the material. Like, well, I guess we could source that for you. We rarely get into that. I got to wait for the next truck to come in.
Sure.
Now we got to pool the orders because I can't just buy that one slab. And so we've really limited very much, again, less is more in our brains of the best ones we can find through Midwest Tops to source. But keep going. Sorry.
And I think that was a great partnership. That's a great story because you mentioned Beth Pouch, Al Carini, who preceded me in this position.
Shout out to Al.
Shout out to Al,
yeah.
right? We'll send him this.
Yeah.
He really was one of the pioneers in producing a basically a curated collection that you would choose from and you would lead with, and it simplified the process.
And that simplified it. That helped you for buying power
100%.
because you can get full trucks instead of whatever that was,
Correct.
right? Or containers even versus truckloads like we try to do. And then the more we sold, the more you can sell, and the cost just helps everybody. Yeah, he was really one of the first ones to kind of build. And I never liked that in that way. I wish it was more for everybody, but really Al would build even a builder program.
Right.
So this builder's going to build 400 homes. I'm going to build this program. I've always said, like, just do it for everybody. Don't give the Gatorade. I'm more like a Costco guy, where I'm like, give everyone that same price of Gatorade, and the more the Gatorade buy, we all win.
We all win.
So that's okay. Nothing against Al, but that was really a big deal in the 90s. It was all this builder program stuff. The problem with that was the complexity of it. And then builders talk, and this builder gets that. And also the complexity of, I'm going to build 100 homes this year, and they built 10. Well, who's going to go talk to the guy and being like, that program I have with you, that's dead because you suck. Or your not that you suck, your development didn't go through, but now I got to pull the pricing back. So this was just this clunkiness that evolved after hundreds of builders programs. I'm sure you guys dealt with that as well.
We have, and we've learned from it, and basically what you boiled down is exactly the approach that we.
And you ended up having 2 or 3 full-time people just working on the pricing of builders programs because it was all over the board.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Wandering for no reason.
It's tricky.
And at the end of the day, it was all blended anyway. It was all came out in the mud. Everyone's paying the same price.
It's almost like you've got to retrace your steps every time you're talking to somebody about something. So it's much easier to. Same program across the board. Yeah, simplify.
And I've always used restaurant analogies. It's like every time you come in, I got to be like, oh yeah, he pays $3 for beer. She pays $4. He pays $5.50, but he gets his shots for free. Like, what?
Yeah, no,
that's really what it was. Yeah, it was a lot of interesting
there's a
things.
fair amount of that. Absolutely. Okay. So those slabs come off. We house them. We have a warehouse we store a lot of material in there. The beginning of the process is we start with either a water jet or a saw to cut quartz and to size, and then we send it to routers, which will finish faucet drillings, edge profile.
CDC machines, basically.
Yes, they're all
made
computer
for those.
controlled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, so we have programmers on staff who actually are incredibly skilled, who not only do the math and actually tell the machine what to do, but they're also pretty creative and artistic. When we look at a piece of material, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you want it to really shine when it gets into somebody's home. So to make sure that you're optimizing not only the yield of the material, but what it's going to look like when it's done, it takes quite a gift.
Yeah, because they'll have like what they call veins in it.
Correct.
Oh, sure.
And rivers and stuff, and you don't even realize it if you ever live there. But yeah, somebody actually was like, I don't want that to get broken up through the sink.
Yep.
And they really do think about it. Like, you would never know that, but they do take a lot of care and passion. And again, it's a little bit why I would use a company like Midwest or us versus like a big box store, because that's that little attention to detail that you're not going to get from a box store.
Correct. No, your team is talented. Your team is trained. Your team understands what the process is for making these countertops, and also you understand the builders that you're dealing with, the remodelers that you're dealing with.
Because that is the trickiest thing on countertops, as well as with installation, is timing.
Correct. Key.
The closer you are to closing in a house, Jules, you probably don't know this.
Nope, I don't.
The worse it gets.
Urgency,
right? And now the excavator is going to laugh at me, and the concrete guy, and they always do when I do this, but it's true. They can delay a month.
Yeah.
They can send a change order for $50,000, and everybody just writes the check.
Yeah.
And then at the end, everyone's out of money.
Yep.
And they're 2 months behind.
They're out of money and
time. So the flooring and the countertop people got to be like, well, I got to make up 2 weeks. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Well, I know it's a 3-day install, but it's got to be 1.
Oh, wow.
But you waited 3 more months for the concrete guy to show up. They got 90 extra days. I get 2 days less because they screwed up.
Wow.
And you're like, well, you're not wrong, but yeah, you still got to get it done. Am I wrong? And also the schedule moves so rapidly at the end.
It bounces
because there's
all
so
over.
many trades coming in, and the countertops are really. Are you
one of the very last?
Yeah,
the plumber's the last guy, pretty much.
He turned the water on the sink, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's been there. I mean, countertop's really the last one to like literally show up. I think is the last trade to actually arrive.
It depends on how people like to do their flooring. Sometimes flooring comes afterwards, but most of the time that flooring's in.
And unfortunately, we sell both. So scheduling is very difficult at the end.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But nothing that we haven't done for apparently 35 years together.
Right.
So I think we got it down.
Amazing.
And so from when it's delivered,
Cheers to that. That's a history there.
There is, yeah, for sure.
And when
I've only been mad at him like 400 or 500 times through the 35 years, so we're gonna be fine.
That's all right. We're not talking about us.
But it's not. They were never bad at quality. It's always been And in my early life, I didn't understand manufacturing, the confusion. I didn't really care. I just wanted it to be about me, which I guess is normal as a customer, right?
As a customer, yes.
I
think that's the right approach.
As a restaurant, you're like, I just want to get seated.
Right.
Well, this table's still talking. Like, I don't. You said 7:00 and it's 8:30. Well, they're still talking and having dessert.
Right.
I don't care. Tell them to go home. Right. So again, it's a customer facing thing. And again, I wasn't the customer technically. I'm representing the builder. So it's always this dance of, hey, Patrick, you got to listen to me because I got to make this other guy happy. A tricky balance for sure.
It truly is. I think the key to it is staying in contact, open communication.
I was just going to say communications and no email.
Right.
The biggest problem in our industry, because I can't say the biggest because there's also a bigger one. Top 5 in our industry for sure is emails. Internally, externally. They're confusing. They're awkward. Really funny today.
Oh boy.
We sent out a payroll announcement. Leave the name out of it. 2 times he replied to all with some very sensitive, confidential payroll information about him.
Okay.
I finally came over the top because I think all 850 people was like, who's going to tell him? Who's going to tell him? So kind of like just sat there for a little bit, and everyone's like, is anybody going to tell him?
Oh no!
And I just came in like, well, I'm the president. I'll be I'll tell the guy he doesn't have any clothes on, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just like,
oh boy.
Hey bud, you just replied to everybody, all 850 of us, and I just put yikers, Joel.
Yep.
And then he started crazy like 4 hours later. So he's like, oh, I see that. I think obviously unintentionally, he started another thread with the entire organization CC'd again with more confidentiality knowledge that he shouldn't be sharing on payroll.
Yeah, emails can be.
That's an extreme thing.
It's a
in the little day to day, though, from the supply chain, if you will, emails are wrought with emotion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wrought with unintended consequences. Never have the clearest communication or the most precise.
Tone is almost impossible.
Impossible to pick up, and since tone you can't pick up, you assume it's going to be negative.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when the replies start happening. The timing's way off. Email is meant for clear, concise communication.
Right.
When it's open-ended, please don't do, what do you think about this? And then CC 5 people, which is, I see that quite a bit. So should Patrick reply, Joel reply, or Jules' response? Why am I CC'd? Now I'm jacked up about a problem I didn't even know about, and I know what you're doing. You're like, well, I don't know who to contact, or I'm trying to just wake everybody up at 5 a.m. And also timing of it.
Yes.
I don't know what you're dealing with. Just pick up.
There's a book to be written about this. Isn't there? Is this like a social etiquette or something?
You're holding on to a book right now. Let's get to that.
I'm holding on to a book. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're an English major.
Yes.
I heard that, and I heard you like to read.
Yes.
So someone gave me this book. It's.
I love the book Traction.
You know this book.
Oh, I've read it many times.
Yeah, I actually had it in my previous company too.
Yeah.
And
oh my goodness.
How we've Drexelized our tacticals.
This is our tactical. Yeah, this is the book that I got to give shout out to Tim O'Brien Homes.
Okay.
Who had he launched that within Tim O'Brien Homes. And literally, he did it literally line by line of the book.
Wow.
And I'm surprised, maybe you weren't even there. I'm surprised actually maybe you weren't invited, but he actually had all of the subcontractors come too.
We don't work with Tim O'Brien.
Oh, well, then maybe that's probably not. Maybe not why. Maybe not. But actually, I was there as the subcontractor, and we walked through the tactical operational force of Traction through it.
Yep.
I love the book, and like a lot of books, we launched Traction right at the height of COVID and during the lockdown.
Wow.
Because we went virtual. We were a company with no meetings.
Probably a perfect time.
Well, it was chaos. We're going through kiosk and manufacturing with tremendous chaos right now. Told a bunch of groups today, during times of chaos, there's never more opportunity. I said, think about politics, think about war, think about religion, think about social life. The chaos brings all the energy and brings all the mass change. So in COVID, we went to lockdown. As we all remember, if you were in the industry, we didn't know if we were going to be. I really thought for like the first 5 days, I was like a COVID Nazi. I thought we were going to be stuck with inventory. I'm like, no way are we going to be essential. So I'm like, we have $10 million in inventory. I won't be able to ship it.
Right.
I can't employ anybody, but we're still open.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're dead. And then honestly, why I got anti-COVID was we were named essential. I'm like, okay, we're not an essential industry, so I see what's going on here. Because then I go to a job site. no one's in a mask, and we're having McDonald's, and we're all just sitting around. And I'm like, okay.
What else
and
was
nobody
essential
died
at that time? You couldn't go to church, but you could go to the liquor
Yeah,
store.
yeah. It was just like,
Yes.
okay, so
Yes.
like new construction's essential. I'm like, I don't think like, okay, do you know how construction works at
Wow.
job sites? Like
Yeah.
you're putting all these people's lives, quote unquote, at risk. Apparently we're not all going to die from it. Anyways, we didn't have any reason for meetings or we were really an anti-meeting company.
Okay.
And then we went all virtual, all of us. And I'm like, we have to meet all the time.
Right.
I can't even see anyone because I was just so used to like going store to store, seeing everybody. So I'm like, we're doing traction right now. Show it to Justin Spuda, Andy Retler. During lockdown, we all came into this building at 110 Main Street, sat in office and said, we're launching Monday.com, which is a project management tool that we still use.
Okay.
And we're launching Traction with ESO,
EOS.
EOS, yeah.
And we launched it like in 4 days.
Wow.
So yeah, love Traction. I'll read it. Thank you for the book. Do you guys
Fantastic.
follow Traction?
We're not an adopter yet, but I
Okay.
think there's an opportunity.
I
there.
strongly, where I was really going with it. So Tim O'Brien followed it. I don't know if they still do line by line.
Okay.
And if you know Tim, that's a little more Tim's personality.
Okay.
I read it and I took nuggets out of it. I think the book's a little rigid on some of the practices and policies for us, and so we used what I thought worked best in Drexel.
Sure.
So we probably adopted 70% of the book.
There you go.
And I would recommend for
Excellent.
anybody that's looking for somebody that's struggling having good meetings
Yes.
or running really frantic, it forces you to have good meetings.
Yep.
And it kind of forces non-stop down leadership. Actually, the book says, get a grip on your business on the cover.
Yeah.
It really is. If you feel like your business is really spinning, and if you feel like the CEO or president's making all the decisions, and you're waiting for replies from the leaders to make decisions, this helps a lot.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
almost is like a lean process in manufacturing, but for the non-doers.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Sure. More the kind of allows for the administrative functions to function.
Yeah, because you have good meetings.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even
yeah.
just the way it starts too, with the segue.
You've read
too,
it then,
because
too, as well?
We
Yeah.
did it at the previous company I was with,
Okay.
and then coming from the fitness industry too. I mean, we had meetings. We're good, but not great.
Yeah, but in the fitness industry, again, that personality style is not like I do not want to sit for an hour and
No.
have a meeting.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about it on the treadmill.
Full
For
disclosure,
sure.
that was given to me as a gift, and it was intentionally given to me to give to
Wink,
somebody
wink.
else.
Oh,
That's
very
awesome.
good.
I thought it was given to you as a gift to be like, we probably
I'm not
need
regifting
this.
to you, Joel. No.
Not like a regift, but I thought you were going to say, this is a book you might want to read, wink, wink, nod, nod, right?
Gosh,
No.
far be it for me to give anybody advice who's
No,
got
like the person that gave it
850
to you.
employees.
The person that gave it to you, I meant.
Yeah,
so
there you
much
go.
me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thank you very much. No,
For
I
sure.
never, ever
No.
would take a book that somebody's trying to like weigh it on me.
Yeah.
Being an English major, books are such a wonderful gift.
They really are.
And
They
they
are.
should be regifted. People are always like, do you want it
Absolutely.
back when I'm done? I said, absolutely not. I've already read it.
Yeah.
But please give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
always
Absolutely.
one of the
Great.
nicest things you can give somebody is a book. So
I agree.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful gift.
My
That
pleasure.
is awesome. Very good. Anything else you guys want to touch on? I know
Oh,
we
we could talk all
mentioned,
day.
I know,
Yeah.
manufacturing and such too, right?
We just touched topics that were great. Yeah, it's great.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Up to the Billboard message then, Patrick. Have you
All
been
right.
thinking about this?
I sure have,
Okay.
I can tell it, Patrick, you're a deep thinker. I can tell you
Yeah, I
probably put some time
know.
into
I
it.
can't wait.
I can feel that.
You get
Well,
a Billboard message. What does
so-
it say?
I'm going to start with a story.
Oh, yes, I love
And it goes like this. I moved to this small town in Indiana when I was 8 years old with my family, obviously.
What's the name of the
That's town,
town?
I know.
Yeah.
South Bend, Indiana.
South-
Well, that's not that small.
It's
Is
I
it
consider
South Bend,
small.
Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I didn't say it, little
it's-
South Bender.
Well, I mean, it's a very black and white subject.
Oh, I actually have been to South Bend because we buy smart cabinets.
Okay.
Okay, and they're about 45 minutes from South Bend.
Okay.
So if we tour, I've toured it twice.
Are they in Plymouth? No.
Oh man, I don't know. Cornfield flat, and then there's
Okay.
Amish country, and then
Sure.
you fall asleep and you're hungover, and then you're there.
There's plenty. There's plenty of cabinet making in
Yeah,
Indiana.
cabinet
for
making
sure.
and trailers, right? They make trailers, so it's piecemeal.
yeah.
It's a piecemeal cabinet shop. So yeah, South Bend. If you haven't been there, it is this tale of two cities. The South
Truly is
Benders,
two
from what I
cities.
know,
Yeah.
because you don't have to say that because you're from South Bend. From what I was told or what I kind of perceived, Notre Dame is Notre Dame. They don't help out South Bend, and South Bend does not like Notre Dame, even though they're all. I'm sure there are crossovers of
just
that.
about every single one is a Notre Dame fan, though.
Yeah, it's a general stereotype, right? It's a love hate.
Yeah,
because people from around the country come in, they come into our town and take it over, but yet without them we wouldn't exist. And of course,
I did my internship in Indianapolis, but I've never made my way to South Bend.
It is a very little town. It's 15,000. Is it 15,000? 10,000? 15,000?
The size of the town?
Yeah.
Actually, between South Bend and Mishawaka, there's two cities, about 250,000.
Is it really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's way bigger. He said little town. He's not from a little town.
It's a little town.
You should see the grotto, though. That is, the
Beautiful.
grotto got me. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Touchdown Jesus, the grotto. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Then you just see El Rudy a lot, and then,
There you
whatever.
go.
But it is cool campus. Like, you walk, and, priests are walking right by you, nuns, monks, and I felt it was one of the only places on the planet that I felt that I couldn't walk on the grass. Because it's like so manicured and so precise,
It truly
at
is.
every sidewalk,
wow.
and none of
It's
the
like a
college
Disney
kids are
theme
walking
park.
it. Yeah, it's
It
kind of
really is.
Like I don't know if I could walk on the grass. I feel like somebody would tackle me if I did.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, but it just felt like no, I have to. I can't. No one else has ever done it. It doesn't look like, because it's like I have to turn the corner here.
Wow,
yeah.
impressive.
Anyways,
Well, the guy after you do it, the guy walks behind you and combs the grass. It's okay.
It seems
It's all
that way.
fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, keep going.
So I'm 8 years old, and my grandmother comes to visit. I didn't even know what football was. She took me to a Notre Dame football game.
yeah, wow.
So at 8 years old, I learned first about football by being in the seats at Notre Dame Stadium.
Wow.
So really a cool opportunity. I've been a Notre Dame fan ever since.
Okay.
So the current Notre Dame football coach is
Freeman?
Marcus Freeman.
Marcus Freeman. I'm sorry.
And
Billy Shroud, right guard here from Campbell Sport.
Yeah.
Oh.
Born and raised right here. Went to St. Matt's right in town.
Billy Shroud just graduated. Is going to
he's
the
gonna
NFL.
be drafted. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was a captain last year.
Yep.
I actually ran into another Shroud up in Michigan. His brother Sam.
Yep.
And,
I'm friends with Sam.
Are you know Sam?
Yeah, I'm friends with the whole family. Yeah.
Oh my
Who's
goodness!
just as big.
Is there a Shroud on staff here?
No, there's not.
Okay.
I've interviewed his sister.
Okay.
She's dynamic. Didn't take the job, but
Okay.
Yeah, Sam, and then his dad Jipper, and Billy all sat in church in front of us about 2 years ago. And then after church, these guys are. I just said, hey, that pew can only handle so much, guys. I don't think that was a good idea.
In excess of 300 pounds. Those guys are big guys.
Easily,
Yeah.
like, but their bodies are they're just huge men.
They're massive.
just huge men. Anyways,
Massive.
Yeah.
So Marcus Freeman has this mantra, and he uses it basically to make sure that his players are in the moment. And it is, he says, one play, one life. And I'm going to modify my billboard to one moment, one day, one life.
Ooh.
Because you really don't have any time other than this moment that we're in. You sure can think about the future. You can plan. You can do nothing about the past. And you've got to remember, staying in the present is key. It really is.
and if you
Don't
think
get too high, don't get too low.
And I just love it. And if you extend it, that's all you ever really have.
It's it.
You never have the past. Past is done. And you can never promise this future. So if you really think about it, all you have is the present. And it's an amazing way to live. Be where your feet are. We say that so often. Be where your feet are.
I'm still trying to live like that, but it's
the
it's
devil will get you.
inspirational.
The devil will
right?
get you. I mean,
It's
the devil
inspirational.
loves to tell you that because of the past, you're worthless.
Right.
And the
Exactly.
future is going to be full of all these problems.
Right.
Yeah.
And the devil just works on you so hard with that, and it's so hard to get away from that. It is so easy.
Confidence
But-
is fragile.
And if you really think of the times that in the present moment that you really had a bad moment, we talked about death.
Give it time.
I lost my sister, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
there are a few things that in the moment was just the brutalness of life.
Yep.
But it's very few. It's almost, I've never had cancer, but the moment happens and that's brutal. But the moments around it aren't always that brutal.
You talked about in one of the previous podcasts that there are seasons for everything.
Yeah.
In Ecclesiastes, that's kind of that you talk about those different things, and things come, things go, and it's part of life.
Yeah.
And
Mysterious part and frustrating part at times, but it's just part of life. Yeah.
yeah, I think we started talking about differences in age when we began this podcast, and as I get older, you experience more during the course of your life as you live longer, and this lady who I love and loves me. It's you look at her and you see she's changing, and but it's truly amazing when you recognize we still have opportunity with our family members who are suffering from dementia.
Yeah.
There is still something there. They're still there. I don't know why I got up on that track.
No, that's wonderful. And it's meant to be said. And what I was going to say, it's been below zero now. If you're listening to this podcast in July and whatever world you are in, but right now where we are, it's been below zero here for at least a week.
Yep.
And I just had read a few weeks ago, the key to life is to enjoy, and you said the seasons from Lexlatius, can we enjoy a summer day the same way enjoy every single season?
Yeah.
If we could do that,
there you go, right?
Yes.
If we could embrace a 5 below, cloudy, horrible day the same way
Huh.
we enjoy a wonderful May day.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Oh, let's get to it.
You focus on the blue sky.
Yes.
There
I
you
love
go.
you, man. Love coming on. You did great.
One day,
Thank you
one
so
life.
much.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Peace and love.